That's big business. Hit town, but that's big pimpin'. My potential, that's infinite. Pin game insane. Make hits like King Griffin, a 10th inning.
All right, folks, welcome to a special midweek episode of the 10th Inning Podcast. This one is our All-Star ballots, and we have a special guest, my brother Kyle here, friend of the pod, for real.
I'm an AWL. I'm glad to be here.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. Award-winning listener. But yeah, so this will be a short little episode, but we figured we'd give you guys our list.
Kyle, I gotta ask, could you move a little bit to the side because they gotta see your face, pal. You're the best looking guy here.
It's actually recorded. My bad.
I mean, we're talking. You're the best looking guy here, and you're not looking. So, what does it make us look like? You know?
I didn't want to show you guys up. That's all. I'm sorry.
You're here for your opinion, but frankly, you're here for looks. Okay, let's get that straight.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
But yeah, like Shawnee said, we're gonna give our little all-star ballots here. Thought it'd be a fun midweek little episode for you guys. But yeah, we'll jump right into it. Why not? Don't want to waste too much time. We got first base here. We can start. Sean, do you want to start nationally? You just want to start American League? You want to flip the tide? How do we feel?
We can start now, American.
Okay, start the American League. Where are we going in the world for you, Sean?
For me, my first baseman, Seattle Mariner, Ty France.
Okay, and you want to give any short reason as to why?
You know, I when I made my list, I was just looking through the major stats, and his numbers jumped off the screen at me. Frankly, it's kind of surprising because Mariners are having a dreadful year, but he is performing, and I mean, you can't. 314 average. I'm an old school guy. 10 home runs, solid, 44 RBIs, not too bad. An OPS of over 800, 868. Can't really complain about that.
Yeah, I love you and your mother. Also, happy Father's Day for everybody out there.
Shout out to the fathers out there.
Kyle, before I ask you your first baseman, did Sean tell your father that I said have a happy Father's Day?
I have no recollection. That does not mean that didn't happen.
No, it did happen. He got home at like 2:30 today. So
yeah, I could have been late to the party there.
Because Kyle, if you had remembered last year, I had asked him, could you just wish your father happy Father's Day for me? And it took upwards of 8 months for him to receive.
Yeah, it was very belated. I do apologize for perhaps being accomplice in that.
It's fine. But who is your first baseman in the American League?
Listen. I am also on the Ty France bandwagon.
Okay.
The player that I liked, I remember when we did the top 10 third baseman. I think he was, or was he? Didn't he play some third last year?
I believe he plays a little bit all over the place.
Okay, because whatever position, I think I had him at a different position than first base.
Okay.
But I remember I jumped on the podcast. I had him as one of my seventh best. I think it was third baseman in the league. So I'm a big fan of his. To be honest with you, I'm gonna preface. I don't really know a whole lot about the American League in general. A lot of these guys, when I'm looking at to prepare for this, I was like, Jesus, I don't even know, how this guy's batting 310, and I don't even know who Alejandro was. So I'm a little embarrassed in that respect. But yeah, I'm going Ty France here. I'm a big average guy along with Sean, and he's been tearing the cover off the ball. So
beautiful. Well, the reason I put a star there is I'm going to give a vote. I'm going to give a podcast vote today. So if anyone gets 2 out of 3. They'll get the vote. I am not going to go for Ty France because I think he's had enough love. We're going to move over to someone who can't get enough love, and that is my man Ji-Man Choi having a little bit of a season out there in Tampa Bay. Okay, 289, 6 bombs, and 34 steaks. But let's be frank. This is why we're voting for G-Man. This floating head all over the place. 866 in the OPS, only 2 points lower than Ty France. That's what I'm going to say to you. Ji-Man Choi, I love you.
How could you not?
G-Man to the National League. I feel like if I went first, he might have got a vote. I might have swayed Kyle. I might have. Going over to the National League, Sean, what do you have? We can switch it up. Kyle, you go first this time. We'll do a little round robin. Who do you think in the National League?
This one's pretty, I don't know how you don't say Paul Goldschmidt. But I mean, that's just because he's had such an incredible year so far. Sure. 344, 16 bombs, 58 RBIs. I want to say Pete Alonso. That's my guy. Obviously leading the league in RBIs, but the average is not 280 is good for Pete, but Paul's been doing everything and doing everything exceptionally well. So it's hard for me to choose anybody there. It's an easy pick, a little bit of a boring pick, but I had to do it.
Kyle, unfortunately, I'm going to hop on the bandwagon. Paul Waltzman's going to get another early 2-star vote here. This guy's been out of his effing mind. He was almost a batter, the highlight hitter for this week. He got scratched out again by Luke Voigt. He's been like this close on 4 separate occasions, which really, 4 second place in MVPs is better than 1 MVP in my opinion. He's phenomenal. This guy's having a season.
It was Luke Voigt who had to push him out of all
I know, which is sad. I'm only talking 10 extra base hits on the week, hitting 430 with Luke Voigt. He's having a week as well. But Paul Welch was having that week every week. So God bless him and his family. Been the most underrated player, in my opinion, for a long, long time. Good for Paulie. Sean?
I like Kyle, really wanted to pick Pete Alonso, but I had to pick Goldschmidt for the integrity of the National League team. I had to go Goldie. Really not much to add to that, honestly.
Was that integrity a shot at my G-Man Choi pick?
No,
no. Okay.
That's not a shot at G-Man.
Yeah.
I would never take shots at G-Man Choi.
Okay.
If you don't like G-Man Choi, you suck.
There you go. You heard it here first from Kyle. I guess I'm up technically for my American League second base. And I think we might have a little difference here. I took a look at Andres Jimenez having a great season, especially with the average. But I think he's been slowing down as of late. And as much as I hate to do this, I'm going to go to New York, and I'm going to give it to my guy, Gleyber Torres, especially for a great bounce-back season this year. Hitting 267, a little bit to be desired, but 13 bombs, 32 stakes, in a kind of an off season for second baseman. Obviously, the Stories and the Samians are not performing up to their normal standards. 838 OPS. I'm really happy with the way Torres has played this year. I think he's a big part of the Yankees having so much success. So as like a mini MVP, which is, I think, the halfway point is, the MVP of your position for that season through halfway of the games, and I think that's Gleyber.
Yeah, he's definitely having a bounce back year. I agree. Solid player for sure. Ever since they moved him to second base. But I did go Andres Jimenez as my pick, and I was not expecting that when I went on here. I really had no idea how good of a year he's having. He's kind of a I don't want to say a better version of Kiner Falefa, but he has a little more pop, higher average, also has a great glove. And, ex-Met, part of the Frankie Lindor trade. So maybe there's a little bias there. I liked him when he was on the Mets. But I'm surprised at how high his OPS is, because he never struck me as a guy who would have the numbers that would really get the OPS up there. But he's got 7 home runs, which is higher than I thought.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have Jimenez as my second baseman, believe it or not.
That's a fair pick. Kyle, you are the decision maker. Finally, there will be a third vote casted. Are you going somewhere separate? Or are within these two? Give us that first.
I'm going with familiar face here. I just want to say this is an embarrassing field of second baseman.
It is.
I mean, RBIs, you've got some guys with low averages like Story that have also been putting up the RBIs, and Torres too, actually hitting a decent average. But I mean, you look at batting average, which is kind of how I like to group players, initially, and then I take a look at the RBIs, OPS, all that. Batting, it's terrible. Like they have there's like 5 or 6 second basemen in the American League hitting over 240. Like that's terrible. Not to mention Whit Merrifield having an off year, 229. You pretty much always expect him to hit around 300, so that's tough for him having a little bit of a rough go of it. But never mind with that tangent. Andres Jimenez.
There you go.
My guy.
I want to say Marcus Samian. He's hit like 223 and 6 bombs. He had his first home run like 2 weeks ago. And he was hitting under the Mendoza line for a while.
No, he's had a
my player to watch. Remember that?
Yeah. Simeon has all of those homers. Listen, he could probably do that for the next 3 weeks and steal a starting all-star spot. With how bad this field is, he hits 10 more homers over the next 3 weeks. You never know.
Yeah,
I think Jonathan Scope could go 20 for 20 and still not be batting 200.
That is
whatever happened to him? He was
194. That's unfortunate. We're going over to the National League, Sean. We're back to you picking first here. Who's our first choice?
It's pretty obvious. The Flying Squirrel, Jeff McNeil. Throwback player. Second base position is better in the National League than in the American League, but still not really. No one's blowing me away. I was expecting to pick Ketel Marte, if I'm being honest with you. I didn't realize that Jeff McNeil really, I don't know if he's leading second baseman in RBIs, but I think he might be.
He's close.
Yeah, he hits for an average.
40 and
Okay, Cronenworth, yeah.
Actually, Chisholm, yeah.
Yeah, Jazz, get Jazz. I couldn't pick Jazz. I'm sorry. I had to go Jeff over Jazz.
Denny
I
Rod.
think that's the popular answer, believe it or not, as of late. Is Jazz with the 13 bombs. I don't like all that Jazz. We're gonna get that out there now. But
he's cooling down a bit though.
He is.
After the team meeting about him personally, they all just vented about him. But yeah, I'm going Jeff.
Kyle, what do you got? We locking in a second baseman already?
Yeah, I listen. I have a very hard time. I mean, Jazz is probably in the conversation as well, but I have a hard time saying that anybody batting 240 is an all-star in my opinion. Cronenworth could have a say too. He's got 40 ribbies. Chisholm's got 42. But at the end of the day, I'm on the Jeff McNeil train along with Sean here. You just have an incredible year. Talk about his fielding too. I mean, he's been playing left field, second base, you name it, and he's been incredible. So with the defense that he brings as well, I think that this is a bit of a runaway.
Listen, I hear you. I'm a big Jeff McNeil guy. Don't like all that Jazz. So Jeff's going to get 3 votes. You're going to the next round. You're going to the live shows. Jeff McNeil, congratulations. The only other guy I'd shout out is Gavin Lux hitting 285 on the year. So congrats, Gavin, for not completely sucking so far.
And also, Jeff McNeil is the new version of Daniel Murphy. And I know how much you love Daniel Murphy. So
I do love Daniel. I love me some Jeff McNeil, no matter what uniform he's putting on, which is insane. Moving on to third base, Keeley, you got the pick, and I'll tell you, this is not an easy one. It's definitely down to 2. I think that's pretty easy, but this might be the tightest race in the entire bracket, if you ask me.
Yeah, I mean,
what are you thinking?
Devers and Jose Ramirez. I mean,
they might be 1 and 2 in MVP race too.
Yeah, I mean that's crazy. Devers has got the edge by 25 points with average. Ramirez has got the OPS edge by about 60 points or so. Ramirez also has the edge in RBIs by 20. They got the same number of home runs with 16. If you're looking at statistically, you got to go Jose Ramirez here from my point of view. I do think Devers has been great. Also, Ramirez is a much better defender than Rafael Devers. Devers is pretty shoddy in the field, hit or miss. But yeah, so I'm going with Ramirez here.
Makes sense. I go second this round. I'm going to make it interesting here. I'm going to shout out my boy. Listen, I hear Devers has actually had a lot better time in the field this season. I'm not saying he's good by any means, but he's been better, which you'd like to see improvement. He still doesn't have the speed component that Jose does, obviously. But for sake of argument, I'm going to go Rafi Devers hitting 330 with 16 Jimmy Jacks, keeping the Red Sox afloat.
They're getting hot.
And he's getting hot, which makes absolutely no sense, by the way, because he's hitting 330 with 16 Jimmys. 3 homers this week for Devers.
Book it.
Well, he did it last week. He's going to do it this week too. Book it.
I Jose. This was a tough one. I honestly thought I was going to go Devers, but then I kind of forgot how good of a year Jose Ramirez was having. Obviously, Devers has got the average, but Ramirez is really doing the defense. OPS over 1,000, which is Devers is not far off on that. Obviously, but it's hard to. I mean, you can't lose either way. You really can't.
I hear you. Listen, that's a fair vote. Everyone that I've gone against has gotten knocked off, so I'm a little bit hurt, but we're gonna keep pushing. My guy for the National League, Sean. I don't like to do this, as you know, but I'm gonna have to go with Manny Machado. He's having a good year. I have no further comment. He got me a point this week. Technically, he got me 3 points this week. So hashtag shout out Manny Machado for that. Gave the league lead in picks to click. But other than that, man, you've done nothing for my life. I loved him in Baltimore. I'll be frank with you. When he was playing against me, I loved him. Playing for the Dodgers really just turned me off because he just when he plays for you, it's not fun. It's even if he does well, there's just something about his aura. He doesn't try, It's not like the Cano not try. It's just annoying, and he does it in big spots. This is an all-star ballot, so not the time. Machado's the all-star for the National
You
League.
think about that long single he had in the World Series off the wall.
I can't. And he struck out to end the World Series too on a knee, like not Adrian Beltre style. It looked terrible. Sean, give me your pick.
I also have Machado. He also got hurt today, by the way. His foot slid off the base and he sprained his ankle.
Good.
I have nothing else to really add. I don't like Machado that much, but he's actually playing well this year. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's already got the majority votes. For argument's sake, I'll throw Arenado in there, having a solid year. Only about 275, but he's got 13 homers, 45 RBIs, and as always, doing a great job at third base.
I like that, Kyle.
Or second base.
That.
No,
that's using your vote for change. That is using your vote for change. I like to hear that. Sean, it's back to you, right?
Yeah. This one is it was between Bogey and Tim Anderson, TA. I love me Tim Anderson. I know his stats aren't as good as Xander. And I know you guys are going to pick Xander Bogaerts, but I went Tim Anderson. Guy's a pure average. I mean, he's won the batting title twice now, right? He's got the swagger to him.
For sure.
He's a solid defender. Bogaerts is not a good defender at short. He's not awful, but he's not as good as Tim Anderson.
TA's having a rough year at short this year.
Yeah.
I think
I'm going
like
TA. I know you guys are going to go
average.
Bogey, so I'm going TA. 356 average. It's tough to top that.
I hear you. TA 9 errors this year. Third in the league. Second shortstop behind Jeremy Pena.
Rough year.
Errors don't tell the whole story.
Not that errors are everything. Sorry, Kyle. Continue.
Yeah, tough call here, but I am on the Bogaerts train. 337, 895 OPS. Man, him and Anderson are like so neck and neck in most categories, but Bogaerts has got the edge with RBIs 31 to Anderson's 19. I think that's the breaking point for me.
Yeah. I'm going TA. Better looking. Okay. I'm going TA. I have TA written down. All this guy does is hit. I'm a big Bogey guy too. I like some of those infield for the Red Sox, which really aggravates me. But I'm going to go with Tim Anderson. When you think of an all-star game, for the fans, who do you want to play in at shortstop, Bogaerts or Tim Anderson? Let the kids play Tim Anderson with the bat flips and all.
Yeah.
Flag coming out. He's like that Andrew Jones. He's going to have some wild cleats on, hop onto the stage, give a good pre- and post-game interview. And if there's anyone that's going to have a day at the All-Star game, I'm going to go with TA. So
he shows up at the big moment like the Field of Dreams game last year.
Yeah, that's the All-Star game was made for Tim Anderson. That's what's going to get baseball back on them.
Might as well just rename it.
What did you say?
Might as well just rename it the Tim Anderson game.
That's it. We're going to shortstops in the National League. Kyle, I think you're leading off here. What do you got?
Yeah. I don't think that this is particularly close either. I think that Trey Turner's got the clear look here.
Okay.
Get a 301 mark for your Dodgers, or I don't even know if I'm allowed to say that because it's like your second team, you bandwagon. But 9 bombs, 49 ribbies. Going off, still a base stealing threat. Great in the field. Give it to him.
Sean, I'm going to have you go second here if you don't mind.
Yeah, I'm going to go with my boy, Fernando Tatis Jr. Just having a great year. The fact he's on the ballot is hilarious. I'm also going to go Trey Turner. He's going to get paid this offseason. My goodness. Nationals, morons. I really don't have too much else to add. He is a very, very versatile player. He can even play outfield. Dave loves that. Yeah. Dave loves that. You don't even have to be able to play the other positions. He'll just put you there.
Yeah.
Mookie playing second base is one example. But Trey Turner is basically a 5-tool player, if you think about it. So
You're not wrong. And under most circumstances, I would give him the vote. But again, the reason I pushed myself to third is just like Kyle. I want to give a shout out vote here. Trey Turner will be the all-star for our ballot, but let's just shout out a guy by the name of Didi Gregorius. I mean, he's always my all-star. Number one in the hard, hitting 280. No bombs, 12 stakes, but he's turning it around. Everyone knows he'll be the MVP at the end of the season. Take a look at the fella. All right, he's phenomenal. Didi Gregorius. Let's go to third base. No, what am I talking about? Outfield, where I have to lead it off here. Oof. Okay, we'll go 1-1-1-1-1-1. My first outfielder. Oh, Sean, this was a tough one. Except for the fact that it wasn't, because Aaron Judge is the clear best outfielder in the American League. If that wasn't the case, I'll tell you it would be tough. But I am gonna go with the man by the name of Aaron Judge, for my first outfielder.
Yeah, he's also mine as well.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, so
He's gonna take the Yankees to the cleaners, by the way. Now, and I know Leif, you're watching this, and I kind of didn't put a lot of respect on his name this offseason ranking, but congrats, you won on that one, but your Yankees are gonna lose on that contract. So
I think Judge would look really good in an Oakland Athletics jersey. That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay, I haven't heard a lot of jerseys you would look.
Maybe they
good
could
in.
just sell their stadium so they have enough money to pay Judge, even though the stadium sucks, and maybe they could play in a parking lot or something.
I like that. I like that idea.
Backyard
That's
baseball.
a great idea.
Yeah.
Sean, who do you got for your second outfielder?
The man who had an 0 for 27 streak, but still is leading the majors in home runs, or among he's leading, right? 21.
Or I think Judge is leading.
Judge is more.
Judge
Either
is
way.
25.
Okay, that's right. Mike Trout. How do you not really put him in there? I mean, he had an 0 for 27 streak, and he still has an OPS over 1,000.
Michael Trout.
Yeah,
All you gotta
Michael
say
Trout.
is Michael Trout.
Michael Trout.
Still underrated though.
Still underrated. Somehow he's halfway through a top 10 player all-time career, and he is underrated. God bless Michael Trout. Kyle, I'm going to skip you for a hot second and just give a click to Mike Trout. He's going to get a second vote here. But what do you got to say? He's going to have 3. That's what I figured. Michael Trout, kind of like Michael Jordan. Michael Trout.
Yeah.
Number 3 is going to be interesting. I think we got some candidates. I'll just go through them. Taylor Ward, had a little bit of a season. Obviously, he was injured, so his stats have kind of gone down a little bit. Kyle Tucker, the player to watch from the week 1, has obviously turned it around. He's having a little bit of a decent year here. Stanton, you can even consider Stanton and Springer. They're kind of in the same kind of a boat, not having bad years. J-Rod, if you feel like the stolen base flair and get the rookie in there, that could be something. Louis Bob's a fun candidate, strikes out a shit ton, but it's a fun candidate. There's a lot of guys kind of on the edge there. Is there any guys up here? Yeah, Austin Hayes having a good season.
Manuel Margot.
Where's Manny? I didn't see him. Michael Brantley hitting 294, but what else is new? What else? What else is new with Michael Brantley hitting 294?
Yeah.
Manny Margot. There you go, hitting over 300. Kyle, I'll let
heater.
you lead it off here. Who's your vote for number 3?
Manny. Give me Manny. Having a nice season. I love the way that his career's blossomed in Tampa Bay. Hitting 303. Not a lot of power, but he still gets some runs in, and just like the way he's been playing, I'm going to throw him in there.
Okay. I'm going to give my vote. I'm going to be a homer here. I'm going to give my vote to J-Rod. I want to see J-Rod in the All-Star game for some reason. The 18 bags leading the league, tied with John Birdie, who had 7 this week and kind of stole the tie for the league lead with him. I'm going to give J-Rod. Sean, you're the kind of deciding vote. You can go in a third direction as well.
We're going in a third direction. We're going to have to figure this one out. Austin Hayes.
Austin Hayes deserves it.
Gotta be honest with you. No idea who he was before this season. If you would have asked me, I would have had no idea. Frankly, I still am not that familiar with him because he plays for Baltimore. I know they have Ceddy Maxwell, Ceddy Mullins.
Cedric Maxwell?
Yeah.
Finals MVP?
Yeah.
Was that an 85?
Sorry, Draymond Green just got in my head from Cedric Mullins. But anyway, Austin Hayes, 280 average, 9 home runs, 37 ribbies. Probably would normally vote for him, aside because there's better candidates, but I like Austin Hayes based off of the fact he's from Baltimore.
I like that.
I want to be different.
So here's how we're going to do this for the pod vote. Kyle, I want you to tell me out of J-Rod and Austin Hayes who you would pick. I'm going to pick between Austin Hayes and Manny. And Sean, you pick between J-Rod and Manny. And if there's a couple multiple votes, we'll go with that.
Give me J-Rod.
You're going to give me J-Rod. I'm going to go Austin Hayes. Sean, you got J-Rod or do you got Manny?
J-Rod.
No love for Manny, bro. Gee.
So J-Rod got 2 votes. I hate to be the winning here, but finally I won. And J-Rod's our all-star. I'm sorry, Manny. Austin Hayes, you also deserved it. God bless. Now, who didn't get? We got Judgy, J-Rod, and we got Trout. Oh, the other side. Here we are in the National League, Sean. Do you want to just name the 3 names you got?
Yeah. You know how much I love Ronald Acuna. I didn't end up voting for him.
Okay.
But my 3 guys, Mookie Betts.
Okay.
Jock Peterson.
Let me find him. We're going down. You give me a minute.
I didn't expect Jock Peterson to make it, to be honest with you.
I'm telling you, player to watch, Sean. Player to watch is for
Nick
this.
Marisnik's having a good year.
Where is Jockey out here? Here he is.
That's
And
solid.
your third?
My 3rd is Mark Canha.
Okay, going back up to Mark Hanna. Right? Didn't I pass Mark Hanna? I did.
Probably alphabetical. So yeah, he's right. Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to change Mark Hanna's vote just for now, just so we can see the rest of the players. Kyle, who do you have?
I got Mookie Betts,
Okay.
Mark Canha, Starling Marte.
Ooh.
Betts, Canna, and Marte.
It's a Marte Parte.
It's a Marte Parte for sure. So I'm going to go with Betts as well. So Betts is going to be one of our all-stars for sure. I do like the Jock Peterson vote, Sean. I can't lie to you. I'm gonna give a vote to Jock as well. So Jock is gonna be a 10th inning all-star. That's beautiful for me to see. Now I gotta look at
Send him an
Marte.
award.
We should send him a little award. Starling Marte, Ian Happ having a little bit of a season as well.
Yeah.
Let's not just
He puts
tis
the ball
on
on.
that.
Jurickson Profar is having a hell of a year, Still hasn't reached his potential, but
Nah,
there's
Lorenzo
still
Cain.
time.
On. I'm gonna side with Kyle here. I'm gonna go with Starling Marte. I am. I'm gonna go with Starling Marte. Those are our all-stars there. Mookie, Starling, and Jock. That's a fun little outfield we just put together that could do some stuff there. We got to have Jock for the home run derby. Have to.
Yeah.
Moving into the DH. I'll go first here. I feel like I haven't in a while. I mean, you look at a guy like Shohei. You wish he would do better. Andrew Vaughn, by the way, finally picking it up at least with the average. Good for him. JD Martinez hitting 330. Trey Mancini just doing Trey Mancini things. I mean, the guy is just an absolute effing stud. But at the end of the day, even with Miggy hitting 297, Yordan Alvarez, this guy is an absolute monster. So I'm going to have to go with Yordan.
Yeah, I also want Yordan. Not just because he's on my fantasy team, but it's I didn't realize how. Can you scroll down again? I forget who I was.
Yeah, sure.
Who had been number 2.
JD maybe?
JD Martinez was my number 2. Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough call between those two. I did go with Alvarez as well, but I was in heavy discussions with my own mind about whether I should actually make it JD, but I ended up going with Alvarez.
That's understandable. I don't want you to think that's not understandable.
Thank you.
Kyle or Sean, I'll let you guys rock, paper, scissors for who's going to go first in the National League if you like. or you could just decide, cordially.
Paper, scissors, shoot. All right. Frankly, I don't know why I wanted to win this because the DH that I have is the worst player in Major League Baseball, Bryce Harper. Frankly, he would have been an outfielder had he not hurt his shoulder and not been able to throw a ball.
Yeah.
But his stats are pretty undeniable. 326, 15 bombs, 48 RBIs, over 1,000 OPS.
Kyle, would you mind if I just click star and we move past this?
I just want to let you know that my vote was going to be for Wilmer Flores. So just in case.
Let's vote Wilmer Flores. Let's give him the vote.
Let's friend of the pod, right? I mean, we don't need. He's going to get enough, Harper, right? We don't really need to do all that.
Wilmer's got 8. He's got 8 homers. Come on now. Come on.
Oh, we skipped catcher. I'm sorry, we did.
Oh yeah,
Alejandro.
Let's go to the National League first. Just because,
it's such a depressing position.
I mean, it's Wilson Contreras for me.
Yeah.
Which I hate, but he's having a season and a half. Will Smith, I think, will probably end up picking it up. Tyler Stevenson having a good season as well. Anyone have anyone other than Wilson Contreras in this race?
I had Stevenson. But...
You had Stevenson. Not a bad pick. Sean, are you going to go Stevenson?
I had Contreras, but let's give it to Stevenson.
Okay. Let's give it. We're going to.
Second year in the league,
All of a sudden, we're having a just 10th inning takeover. We're saying this is how it is, folks. In the AL, you got some players. You got Jose Trevino having a little bit of a season for himself down there in New York. Gary sucking it up. Salvi not having the season you'd like. Tom Murphy hitting 300, but that's about it. The one stake he's got over there. I mean, for me, it's Alejandro Kirk. Okay, he is one of my favorite players in the league. I actually have a jersey. It's in my closet right now. He is 5'4", 5'5", probably 260 pounds. What else do you need to know about a baseball player? If he's hitting 300 doing that, what do you say?
He's hitting 307 too.
He's also hitting 307, right? Sean, what do you think?
I like the pick. I went a little off the rails here. Jonah Heim, Texas Rangers.
Okay. Where's he at? Having a good year. I think that's disrespectful. I don't see why you had to go Jonah Heim.
I knew you were going Alejandro Kirk, so I figured I'd change it up a little bit.
Kyle, what do you got here?
I was thinking Mike Zanino.
You were thinking Mike Zanino.
He's accomplishing the incredibly difficult feat of having an OPS below 500.
That is.
He was an all-star last year.
To be quite honest with you, you could throw Austin Hedges in that conversation as well. I mean, just heavy stuff.
That is congratulations. Wow. 489.
Robinson, look at this. 165, 185, 167. Then it goes better. Then it's 154. It's awful.
Maldonado's only batting 154, but I mean, at least he's got it over 500 OPS. I mean, Zanino can't even do that. He's got 5 homers. I don't think he has a single base hit. I think he just has 5 home runs.
Even Grandal's having a really rough year.
Grandal had a really good year last year. Tucker Barnhart's still kicking. That's impressive.
Oh God, what'd I do? We're here.
Ray Allen.
That's Ray Allen, honestly. I'm going to give the vote to Kirk, regardless of what anyone says here tonight, just because he needs the votes and he deserves it.
His team doesn't even want him starting.
No, they brought up Moreno, which is
ridiculous.
But going through it real quick, we got Ty France and Goldie, Jimenez and McNeil, Ramirez and Machado, TA and Turner. That's a fun middle infield there if you move Trey to second base. Kirk and Tyler Stevenson, Judgy, J-Rod, and Trouty. God, that's a fun outfield there. Mookie, Marte, and Jock, another fun outfield there. And Jordan and Wilmer Flores at the DH position. Hopefully he doesn't cry mid-game. That's the 10th inning pod all-star team. Anything to say, guys?
I think it's pretty solid.
I think it's pretty solid as well.
I feel like we could go yard a bunch of times in the show if we had those teams. Just polo ground, rip it down the line.
162-0, if you ask me. Let's
We don't even have a
review these
picture
picks.
either.
What, I gotta fill something out. Guys, I will submit the vote. Don't worry about it, okay? I will submit the vote off camera. I'm not gonna fill in my information.
Social Security. And
How do we know you're not going to tamper with it?
But I won't tamper. Wilmer will be our starting National League DH. I can guarantee you that. But I want to thank you guys for tuning into this midweek episode. I hope you guys had fun. I thought you did too. I thought so. Kyle,
Felt it.
anything you want to say as a guest and an award-winning listener?
I mean, I'm just thanks for having me on. It's really an honor and a privilege, as my idol Stu Finer would say. And it just really means a lot. Love chopping it up and learning about players that are batting 300 I never heard before. So it's good.
It's beautiful. Sean, anything to close it out?
Bryce Harper's not good.
That's it, guys. We will see you next time on episode 38 of the 10th Inning Podcast. Bryce Harper, you suck.